Welcome to Mogul Love. I'm talking to the lovely Rachel from the Real Housewives of Cheshire. Rachel, hi, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm really good. You look so glamorous, honestly.
Thank you. A little blazer. I thought I'd add some colour.
Oh no, that's the thing, that it's so miserable out there at the moment. It's like I'll add a little bit of colour, a bit of sparkle. So
yeah. What's funny about Zooms is we get to kind of see inside people's homes. And I think, oh, I love the unit behind you. It looks lovely.
Oh, thank you. It's a bit of a nightmare sometimes, isn't it? You've got to tidy it all up and have a space.
Oh.
The kids running in or the dog. I'm like, oh my God. You know, like.
So it's a nightmare.
So Rachel, you know, like I was talking about you know, when you're growing up and things like that, what was that like for you?
My childhood was lovely. We had, you know, we did have a privileged childhood. Myself, my twin sister and my elder sister. Yeah. My dad worked all the time in a family business. Yeah. And we went to a convent school, a very strict school taught by nuns, but it was lovely. It was a lovely life. You know, we had holidays abroad, a villa in Spain. It was really nice. And then unfortunately our mum left when we were 9, met someone else, and she went to live in America, and that was really tough on 2 twin 9-year-old girls and an 11-year-old girl. Really tough.
Yeah, that must have been tough, and especially for your dad as well, because, you know, like men, they find it quite difficult to talk to girls, and especially when you've got, you know, when you get to sort of the teenage years and you want to talk to your dad and ask him questions, you know, about dating or boys or like lady issues. We won't go into that.
It was so difficult because my dad was one of these, he would go to the pub on a Sunday, he'd come back, his dinner would be cooked, and he'd work all week. So, you know, we're talking a long time ago, and dads didn't really get custody of their children over the mothers, but I think it was the fact that she went to America, and I wanted to be with my dad because he didn't have anyone and my mum did. So I think children work things out in that very simplistic way. They, well, mum's got someone and he hasn't, so I'm going to be with him, whether he wanted it or not.
I bet he did. I bet he loved every minute, especially with the girls. I bet you've got a really close bond with your dad. So
yeah, well, my dad passed away when I was 27.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so he was unfortunately, he was an alcoholic. So again, that was really tough looking after him, really. Not so much as his carer, but, you know, just making sure he was okay.
Yeah,
So,
that must have been really tough. As you say, you lose your mum, and then, as you say, your dad, and dealing with, you know, alcoholism is really difficult, isn't it? You know, as you say, and you're growing up as well, and you've got all hormones, and
it's really difficult. I mean, we pretty much had to hide it from social services because, you know, our dad would go into the Priory and whatever else, and, you know, we didn't want anyone to know we were there on our own, and we just made do. We just got by. I think our bond is really strong because of that.
Oh, and that's lovely, as you say, you've got your sisters there for support, because if you haven't got somebody there as support, it's really difficult. So it's lovely you've got your sisters. That's probably why you're so close, is it, to your sisters?
Yeah, we've been through a lot. Yeah,
as you say, but it does make you stronger when you've got that bond and you've been through a lot. So that's so, you know, recently as well, I've heard you found love.
So obviously we met on a dating site, and I think there was some kind of lockdown going on, so there was no option to go to a restaurant or anything. We went on a walk. I took my Springer Spaniel, and we met up not far from here, and I took him on my daily 9k walk. So it's a proper walk.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And I didn't stop chatting. He was like, oh my God, I did not stop chatting about everything. I didn't exactly know kind of all his features, what he looked like, because I wasn't looking at him all the time. I was walking and looking straight ahead. But it was so funny because we kind of agreed then to meet 2 days later. Yeah. And then he messaged me about 2 hours later, and he said, do you want to meet up tomorrow instead? And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah. So we did. I didn't kiss on the second or the third day either.
Oh, I'm really happy. You can see in your face though when you're talking. Yeah, you're really happy. You've got a good aura. Rach, as well, I wanted to ask you as well, what's the most surprising thing that's ever happened to you?
I mean, I have to say, I can't really talk about it too much, but I have to say it was very surprising finding myself in a position as kind of like a 44-year-old woman with a broken home. Yeah. You know, I can't really talk about it, but it was, because it's not anything I ever imagined. I came from a broken home, and I wanted to make sure that I nurtured my family. You know, I took care of my children, and I guess.
Yeah, that must have been, as you say, at least if you have an inkling. But if you're absolutely shocked, or you don't even really, you don't feel it coming, it's like, it's literally devastating. And as you say, you want the 2.4 children, you know, you want your children, your family unit. And
I never imagined it. But things happen for a reason. I tell my kids that all the time. So you know,
one door is Rach, another one always open.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. And I'm running with that. You know, you dealt the card you dealt.
Yeah.
You either choose to carry on playing, or you leave the game and, you know, wallow somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm still playing.
Oh no, that's lovely. Yeah, that's so nice. And as you say, I think it gives hope for other women, because as you say, you know, if you have been through a really hard time, you're like, God, do I get back on the horse again and get out there, so to speak?
You've got to be proactive.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So thank you, Rachel. So obviously I know your twin sister, she's having a really tough time with cancer. How is she? How's she getting on?
So Katie had skin cancer. Yeah. She had the basal cell carcinoma, which although it's not life-threatening, it, you know, it can lead to a lot of disfigurement, and it's obviously worrying if it travels down the hair follicle. So she's had a couple of tumours on her chest, and also on her face, which we showed on the show, where they cut it out. So she has regular checkups. There's obviously breast cancer that runs in our family, so we're all kind of monitored for that. But she's doing really well. She's really well.
Oh, well, that's good news. You know, as you say, she's staying positive, and she's you know, getting through it. So that's so lovely. So what's the funniest thing, I have to ask you, Rachel, what's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you?
There was one time, and actually I was filming, and we'd gone over to see Katie. It was my first season. We'd gone to Gibraltar, and I was wearing this really cute little fuchsia dress. It's quite difficult to do up at the time, but it looked really nice when it was on. We all decided to go to the bar for a drink later, so it got quite late. There was me, my sister, Stacey and Amina, and I think one other, I can't remember. So we're just chatting and chilling till quite late. I get back to my cabin. My sister obviously lives in Gibraltar. She'd gone back to her house, and I couldn't undo my dress. So if you can imagine, this thing was tight on me all night anyway. I could barely sit down, never mind lie down in it. So I go out my cabin, I run to Amina's room, which is right the way down the other end of the ship. I'm knocking on a room to help me get out my dress. She's fast asleep, gone. This is 4 a.m. now. And I'm getting to my room, and I literally, I think I just kind of half lay on the bed and tried to pull it off me and fell asleep just for a couple of hours. And then the next morning, there's crew and cast and whatever, and I'm still in the same dress from before. And I just knocked on Amina's door about 3 hours later, and she's like, "Where have you been?" I said, "I can't get out of my dress." I was literally in tears, and she just got side by side and went, "Whoom!" And I was like that.
Oh, yeah, be brave. Yeah, I bet the girls were rolling up. Yeah, Shannon didn't get that on camera, but it's probably wise they did.
Oh, I was running up and down every level of that ship, just trying to see if I could find somebody walking around to get me out of my dress.
I know. I have to ask you as well, like, have you ever clashed with the other housewives? You know,
when we clash. So it's not for camera. When we clash, it's we are all friends, and we have a lot of laughs, and we do a lot of things together. But then there's also times where someone will say something that you disagree with, or you can't believe they said that, and you speak up. We're on the show because we're strong women. We question things, so you're bound to clash, and you know, put late nights, a little bit of alcohol in the mix, and you know, we definitely do disagree. And then it does carry on off the show. You know, it does. It's definitely
got a fallout with the music carried on for quite a long time, you know.
I think my most upsetting fallout was with Dawn in Athens. You know, we always share a room, and I ended up moving out of the room, and it was a big fallout, actually. We went a long time without speaking. And it was purely just when lockdown started, when we got on house party together. I don't know what this house party. It was one of the FaceTimes. And Nicole had internet issues, so Dawn and I were just left on there together. And we kind of talked it through. But that was my worst one, was with Esther, when she threatened to throw a plate at me, and it all went south because, you know, she'd done things that were just frankly not right. That was all shown. So that was my worst one, but my most upsetting one was falling out with Dawn.
As you say, if you've been friends for a long time, and then
a long time. I like to think I'm really level-headed, and you know, I do think a lot of the time I'm the voice of reason. I might have the odd meltdown, but there's normally a reason behind it. Yeah. It might be something that's going on in my personal life where I'm just not tolerant that day. Yeah. So I can't always blame the girls, but it really does depend on the topic as to who is going to bite. Yeah. And you just can't tell, because when I look back over the seasons that we filmed, yeah, there's always different groups of people either having a go or saying things that you just go,
yeah. So yeah, well, and I just want to ask you as well, why do you think it's so important to have like women in the workplace?
I think now in this day and age, to differentiate between a man and a woman, I mean, I just think, from my point of view, I've got 3 girls. Yeah. It's so important for women to have their own independence. There's no reason why they can't do anything different to a man. I think it was always the fact that women, you know, they have babies and they take time off and they have a family, and men can't do that. They can't grow the baby and whatever else. But I think now there's so much with equality. Women, there's nothing a woman can't do. Agreed. So I think girls growing up today, they need to realize they can do anything, they can take on anything, and we can be mums too, because we're great at multitasking. Yeah. So I mean, I just think us women, we rock. I think we really do.
I love that. Yeah, we do rock. You know,
we do rock, because we have a lot on our plate. Not only do our bodies go through so much when we have childbirth and have our children or whatever, we then have the menopause just to thank us for going through all that.
Seriously, yeah.
We have all the monthly mood swings, and on top of that, you know, we make great career women. We're strong. We're independent. I just think we're bloody amazing.
No, I love that. That's so true. We are, as you say, you multitask. I run businesses, and as you say, you've still got to be a mum, you've got to be a cook, you've got to be a cleaner, you've got to get everything still. It's just so much to do, and as you say, we have to multitask. So.
And I'm not taking anything away from the men out there, but you know, I just find it very strange. The same thing with race, really. No one should be judged for anything, really. Yeah. You know, we're all as we are, and we, you know, anyone can achieve anything. We're all born the same way, we all die the same way, and that's very much how I see everything.
Yeah, I agree. No, I love that. So no, thank you. It's been really lovely to talk to you. You know,
yeah,
loved it.
Oh, it's been lovely.
And thank you, and thank you. Yeah, thank you for joining Mogul Love. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much.
Good luck with filming.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.